Alright, and hello, welcome everybody to my Stranova waifu tier list. We are going to start with one of the top waifus in the game, Mara. Now we're going to generally rate each of them on a number of factors that do not count in-game playability. This is not a playability tier list, this is purely a waifu tier list. So starting, we have Mara here, as you can see. Now, Mara personality-wise, C. A little too aggressive, sometimes not aggressive enough. Definitely would step on you if they got the chance. But in other terms, we got the physics of the character, obviously on point, cake on the point, style on the point.
Battlefield scares me.
So Mara is going to be going into the S tier, obviously. You can take that up with the Goon Squad committee of Goon, and they will direct you to further evidence. Moving on, we have
Count on us to
Leona.
construct your safe haven, both on and off the battlefield.
Now, Leona would probably run into like a burning building to save you. Very, very like protective. All right, that's her whole kit in the game too, is the same way. But in terms of physics, it's not near as there. In terms of cake, it is definitely there. You know, just saying in general. So that, in my opinion, puts our dear Leo on, I want to say, A tier waifu. Just purely off the fact that her style is a wee bit weird. You don't bring a button-up tuck-in into a combat situation, I'm just saying. The next, alright, and everyone that's watched me play this game knows that this character is already going into S tier, but it is Yagiri.
This device serves as the shackles of destiny.
Alright. This is where all the foot allegations come from, this is where all the ankle allegations come from, and this is where all the snail allegations come from. I plead the fifth on all of them. Alright, now when it comes to Yagiri, she is a very awesome character, very soft looking, very kind, very kind of oblivious, alright? In terms of physics, absolutely less on the physics side, it is sad to say. But the twin tails with the curves, she does have that cake, so she gets the clear. We are going to be hitting Yagiri up into that A tier as well. Even though it's one of my favorite characters, I will have to admit, they're lacking in some of the cake department, okay? So we gotta put them in A tier. I can't keep it higher. Now we have the next one. The next one is going to be the curse of my existence in this game.
When no shows
Galatea.
are scheduled, one should simply relish
Guarantee
the
you
art
I said
of
that
doing
wrong.
nothing.
Galatea has that, like, I'm gonna steal your wallet and run away personality, so watch your back pocket. Outside of that, style-wise, fantastic. Personality, like I said earlier, a little bit on the low side. Cake it's there, but it's a little lacking. So I'm gonna be honest, other than the fact that her style is on point, I'm gonna have to give Galatea a B tier. I'm sorry. All the Galatea fans, don't hate me. It's just how it is, okay? How it is. The cake ain't there, okay? And you need cake after a good meal. The next one is another fan favorite of my own.
If you're feeling tired,
Alright,
why don't you
Fragrance,
try my fragrance?
in my opinion, gives the mommy, like, mommy vibes 100%, okay? With a little spice on the side. Now, what I mean by that is, like, she has a soft personality, doesn't like fighting, doesn't like conflict, alright? Very optimistic. Even when you're getting your butt kicked in-game, they will always say positive things. So, you know, I kind of give a little bit of an S tier on personality-wise. Now, in terms of clothing and fit, on point. Alright, show off enough to know what's there, not revealing enough to leave nothing to the imagination. When we go in here for the cake test, though, the cake is definitely there. It's why in her uniform, in my opinion, they specifically cut that middle part, was to allow people to confirm that Our dear friend Fragrance definitely is a S tier waifu in terms of everything. Moving on to our Michelle.
Hey, give me a holler if you need anything.
The poster girl of Stranova. The kitty e-girl gamer addicted to cats lady. Alright. They have a very, I would say it's a mix for me on this one. In terms of waifu ability, it's a mix. They are, in terms of like aesthetics, very pleasing. Cake is not really there unless you go to specific skins, which does put a minus, because that means that in general the cake ain't there, and cake ain't there, you can't be an S tier waifu. Personality, definitely the lazy stay-at-home type that'll bug the crap out of you to play Minecraft at 3 in the morning when you have work at 5. So I'm gonna have to put her, painfully so, alright, painfully so, at the B tier. It has to happen, guys. I'm sorry, it has to. Now we're moving on to Ming, another common stay. As you can see, physics are beyond on peak. The physics on this character, they put too much time. Whoever the dev is that worked on this character, they knew they were enjoying it a little too much. Style on point, though, you know, I will say it's tastefully professional and unprofessional at the same time. Definitely has that tomboy outlook. Gonna kick your butt if you say anything, gonna kick your butt if you don't say anything. So it's a win and a lose all the time when it comes to Ming. Outside of that, she does have cake. I mean, it is a small bubble of cake, but a cake pop is still cake nonetheless. Because of that, she is going to hit up that C tier or a... No, I'm gonna hit up... I'm actually gonna put her in B tier. I don't think she beats our dear Michelle, but she has that attitude that puts you over C tier. Moving on to the next one. Alright, we're going to hit up our, where is it? Michelle.
Get ready for combat!
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Michelle, physics-wise, almost non-existent. Cake-wise, it is there, but physics, non-existent. There is no physics here. There is glasses, though. Alright, glasses gives a +1 point. In terms of outfit style, it is definitely not feeling it. No. So, I'm sorry, but for all those Madeline fans, I'm putting Madeline in the D tier. Alright, I'm sorry, I have to. Next, we're gonna go to Soft Girl, or also known as Ice Princess, Yvette. Now, Yvette is a sleeper character, in my opinion, when it comes to waifu ability. Now, when we look into this, definitely got the curves, definitely has a hidden cake. Alright, he got a hidden wedding cake in there. But they hide it all. They hide it all with their style. They go with the cutesy, quiet, tired girl kind of vibe, and I'm with it. I like the stocking design, but it would be very hard to put her anything higher than C, as much as I love the character. And the you know, it's just, there wouldn't be much to talk about in the waifu tier part. There really isn't. All right, next we are going to hit up the Lord and Savior of soft ears, Meredith. Now, in terms of style, Meredith don't hide, alright? Meredith give it all. Alright, she got a nice jumpsuit on, definite cake back there, that's why she's arching, you know? The ears with the piercing in the ear there, you know, very fine detail, alright? The style, though, is meant to be like a librarian, because it's another Granny Glasses character. In terms of personality, she would probably kill you when you turned your back. I'm gonna be honest, she would probably do, like, you know, a King of the Hill moment. She would be like, pocket sand, chuck sand in your eye, and then beat you to death with a frying pan the moment you disagree with them. So they are going straight into D tier. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules here, guys. Next up, we got one of the next poster childs, Celesteela. Now, Celesteela has a very intriguing thing, because her assets change drastically depending on the skin she's using. Now, in general, she definitely got some curve, at least in the top region. We got some cake, that's definitely confirmed. We got the thin legs, So that's a slight, slight waifu list down, because for a waifu, you want the thick thighs. And, personality-wise, she's got the gentle girlfriend kind of feel and vibe to him, so, she goes into the A tier list along with Yagiri. I'm sorry for anyone that doesn't like the annoying voice, or the fact that every time you open the screen, they just say something that makes you feel even angrier after just losing. I don't make the rules. Next, we do have the Kona. Now, Kona, also known as Duck Queen, or apparently some players in this game go by Kona's Big Toe or something like that. A little bit too lackluster in terms of the waifu tier list. I'm just saying it for real, guys. She got the good tummy going on, some people like that. The cake is not there. All right, the cake is not there. The design is fantastic. It's homey and tomboy, but it's just not. We can't put her on the tier list very high with all the things going against them in terms of waifu ability. Okay. The next the next character we're gonna go with is going to be Luwane. Alright. Now, Luwane is everything Kona is, okay? Everything Kona is. But add on a little bit of tomboy spice and a little more confidence in the curves. So if we're gonna go into the waifu curve test, physics, it's a little lackluster. In terms of the cake is definitely an improvement. And the personality wise, they would probably die for you, or if they caught you texting and anyone else, including your mother, they would probably kill you. So I'm gonna have to put her in the B tier here. The B tier. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. I love the character, but B tier it is. Next we're gonna hit up the Lady of Armpits.
Let's get it over with. My time is precious.
The one that would probably act as if you are not their husbando, even though you are her waifu, and that would be Audrey. Okay, Audrey is in a unique position because everyone knows why they picked this. This is their profile picture in the game for selection. In terms of physics, the physics are actually quite stiff, and the cake is definitely there. Personality wise does drag her down to yet another B tier waifu in Stranova. I'm just saying, guys. Alright, moving on to our third or one of three male characters, and this is where I get absolutely hung up, guys. This is when the Dead by Daylight PTSD kicks in and I can't stop thinking about Pyramid Head, but we gotta click on it.
Oh, you're here.
Nobunaga. Nobu, yep. Nobu. Alright, no boo got nothing. Alright, he got no cake. Alright, he's the most cake out of all the male characters right here. This is the most cake you're getting. In terms of physique though, got that femboy look, got that youthful femboy. Professional in all of his skins. In terms of waifu power, even though he's a husbando, I'm gonna put Nobunaga on the A. He's got that protect you till they die kind of attitude mixed in with that, but the cake doesn't really affect in terms of debuff for male characters. It's more or less the physique that shows up for the male characters. Alright, the next of the three male characters is Rishi. Now, Rishi was one of my favorite characters. Sadly, if we go into skins, alright, and we go through, there is only 2 skins. And he has absolutely nothing. All right, when he sits down, it is bone to whatever he's sitting on. Concrete, bone to concrete, chair, bone to chair. Nothing there. All right, he's gonna watch out when he sits on a freaking subway, train seat, because he might crush his nuts. That's how little there is there. So Rishi, I like the character a lot, but you know what, buddy, you were a D-list. I like your design, physique's good. That massive cake debuff though, you have to have a little bit of something. Alright, a little bit of something. I'm sorry. It's just the rules and how it works. Following up that, one of my first favorite characters I played.
Preparation is
Fuchsia, a character I can never say the name because I think it's Fuchsia. I keep calling her Fuchsia. I called her Fushishi one time. But this character, as much as I like him, Their base skin, in my opinion, is one of the best, in my opinion, just standard. In terms of style, on point for tomboy aesthetic. All right, you got that headband and the slight layer hair, nice, on point. Got, you know, safety strapping where it matters, on point. You got the thigh squish bandage, on point, and there is very, very little cake here.
Preparation is key.
So
to
I'm
making
sorry,
an
one of my
impressive
favorite
entrance.
characters, I have to put her in C tier. I'm sorry, guys. All the Froetia or Fuchsia character players, you know, you're gonna hate me for this because I know she's a fan favorite, but she's a C tier. Like, even with personality, it's a C tier. All right, here comes the more intriguing characters.
Doesn't matter where our paths
All right,
lead.
so we got some
For
of
now,
the actual
we are
big fan
companions.
base characters now. We got Flava. All right, I call her Flava, but yeah, Flava has on point skins almost all around. Okay, in terms of physics, they're there. They're a little stiff, but they're there. Cake is exorbitant. That is an extra large cake. And all of her skins got perfect squish. I'm just saying. So I have to put Flava as an S tier. All right, they have to go on S tier. Personality wise, slightly shy, still confident, would probably be the one to make the first move. S tier waifu right there. As we move on to the final three, all right, final three, we got ourselves
you
the
keep up with me,
economy.
River?
All right, this is by definition the princess character archetype. All right, princess character archetype. They have a little bit of a snobness, but they are also gentle personality wise. In terms of cake, it's definitely there. You can't see it in this skin. Let me actually change. But they definitely got some cake there. You can see glimpses of it. And physique fantastic. Style
you
on this
keep up with
character
me,
is
River?
100% on point. Almost every skin. They know what they're doing with her. This character goes straight to the S tier. All right, the S tier today. The last two, all right. My man, the myth, the legend,
You made it.
the Baimo.
I've been waiting for you.
All right. Baimo is the paintball shotgun god. He's got that like soft boy, badass kind of mix up going on. And he's just a silly dude. But there's a lot of issues. Number one, style. All right. His style is only good in two skins. Two out of all of them. His base skin is kind of meh. It looks like some dude kind of living on the streets. And then his cake is egregious. This is a sin. There needs to be an update for this. Everybody, we need a petition for an update because there is literally negative cake. All right, there is no cake at all on this character. He got a little chub. All right, he got a little chub, and I appreciate that. A little cuddle pocket, as I call it. But what he doesn't have is cake. It is literally negative. It is sinking into his spine. All right, this is him pushing his butt out. He got no cake. All right, he got no cake. Personality wise, would probably, you know, die to keep you safe, and I would appreciate that. But he's going into the C tier painfully as the waifu tier list continues on to the last character. Now, I am not putting my own
You
bias
told me
into
the
this.
map would protect
All right,
me,
I am
no matter
slightly.
where I was.
This character is Aika, the shotgun hot-headed redhead that uses fire and everything. Personality-wise, extremely outgoing. Will force you to go on walks. Will force you to get out of bed. Will force you to play Call of Duty when you don't want to. At the same time, style on peak. She hits up that uniform look, the dress usually. This is a superhero one. Cake and tonage on point. Physics overtuned. Overtuned on the physics. Just way too much, okay? Way too much on the physics. And so we're definitely gonna hit up this character into the A tier or B. I'm gonna hit her B tier. There are some issues with her design. So she's hitting B tier as much as I like her. That is with bias, by the way. I'm putting her in B tier. But Aika's just all around a decent waifu as a Stranova character goes. And again, this is non-gameplay related. This is all just you know, crediting personality, jiggle physics, style, and level of cake. All right, we got some cake levelage needed. But everybody, this right here is going to be my waifu Stranova tier list. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I want to hear your opinions on why certain characters should be certain places. Personally, I would have put Yagiri higher, but I also have to give in on some of the facts. But I can't wait to hear your comments, and I hope to see you guys in the next game and or stream. Until the next time, everybody, bye bye.